I'm back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Pizza Boy Brewing Company, and they're out of Enola, Pennsylvania, and this is their bourbon barrel-aged Sunny Side Up, and this is the blend number 2 variant, and this is the 2022 release. So they are calling this one a double coffee stout aged in bourbon barrels. It comes in 11% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. And this can is approximately 9 months old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Justin, for this beer. So big thanks to him for this one. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer haul video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with. And I'm really excited about this one because I've had the base Sunny Side Up, which is just a double coffee stout, and it was delicious. I probably had it like 5 or 6 years ago. And when I saw that this was a part of the haul, I was like, oh my God, this just definitely my wheelhouse. Now, they apparently back in February, or I guess early March of this year, they released 2 different variants of this one. They did a single barrel that was just in Pappy Van Winkle barrels, and then they did this, and they did 2 different blends, and this is a blend of Pappy Van Winkle and I believe Heaven Hill barrels, and they did 2 different blends of it. So I have blend 2, and this just sounds awesome. Now, it does say do not age. It's 9 months old. Hopefully the coffee's all right, but we'll see. You know, I can't wait to get into this one. Like, I could never imagine that I'd be drinking this, to be honest with you. We just don't. We saw Pizza Boy here once in the West York area back in like 2016, 17, and never saw it again. It was crazy. All right, so it doesn't look super like crazy dense and like thick and syrupy. Try to get a decent head on this if we can. All right, that's cool. And just drop a huge plot. I'm gonna pick that up later. Like a big spot. We'll pick that up later. Anyway, yeah, it didn't look pitch black, but in the glass it's pitch black or a very deep dark brown. Has just over a finger, maybe a finger and a half of a light brown colored head. Very creamy looking. Can't see through it. It's a big, beastly double coffee stout, barrel aged, and it has some decent legs. Not crazy, but they're there. You can see them. Anyway, let's get nose. Yeah, so that coffee, is it green pepper? No. Is it delicious? Maybe. Does it smell amazing? You bet your ass it does. Yeah, it's huge, intense, big roasted coffee. Wow. I can't believe 9 months later that is this intense. Like, it's punching me in the nostrils. It's without a shadow of a doubt the biggest note in here, as far as the aroma goes. It's boisterous. It's like intense, very intense. There's a little bit of like a underlying like 50-60% cacao bar type of chocolate note. The barrel's there, and it's kind of vanilla and oak. Not really the barrel itself. It's more like, or I should say, the spirit itself. It's more of the barrel. I shit you not. A lot of times when you get barrel-aged coffee beers, like the coffee fades, especially since it's aged a lot of times, 6 months, a year, and then, drinking this after it was canned 9 months later, like it could have been in the barrel, for 6 to 9 months, 6 months to a year before that. So the coffee that they originally put in here might have been whatever. A lot of times they'll age it on coffee after it's barrel aged. I don't know if they did that here. All I know is this is at least 9 months old, and it smells like it's 9 days old, like from the coffee aroma. A little bit of like caramel, molasses, dark fruits too, like a touch of like a black cherry or a plum, some kind of dark stone fruit. Big roasted malt character, almost charry from the barrel. This is fucking super complex. It's making my mouth water, and I just want to get into it. So cheers, everybody, and huge thanks to you, Justin. I do appreciate it, buddy. Cheers. It's fucking absolutely dynamite. Holy shit, is that good. Wow. I can't believe how fucking... I can't believe how... like, the coffee is so present and it has some age on it. I would have like, if I was doing this blind and I didn't know the date, I would never guess this is almost a year old in the can. Like, ever. Despite the body not looking as thick as it could have been. Wow, this is fucking so good. I did not anticipate this being as good as it is. Holy shit balls. Anyway, the body. This is like medium full to almost full body, 11%. It's viscous. It is. I'd say medium full. It's not straight full, it's medium full. Very appropriate for 11%, without question. The mouthfeel, a little bit of a ding. There's a little bit more carbonation I like here. You know, when it comes to barrel-aged beers, a very slippery slope for myself because I want it to be a little bit softer and creamier, I feel like that for me personally, but a lot of times it can be a little bit more carbonated. This has like a approaching moderate carbonation. I would like to see this more mild to moderately carbonated. I think it just works better, like a little bit more smooth and creamy, but it's still a pretty damn solid mouthfeel, so that's like the one knock on this one. It's fucking delicious though. Like this is, and it hides the alcohol pretty well. There's no, I will say this, to be honest. You always got to be honest in the reviews, right? The first sip I took, there was a burning in my throat. And I was like, wow, that's weird. Why is it burning in my throat? Like, it shouldn't. Like, I'm not, outside of that, like, I'm not detecting the alcohol. There's not even a huge warm in my chest. It's like slightly warm, right? Like, it's noticeable, but it's not like burning my chest. And then as I took another sip, that has went away. I can't really detect the alcohol in the palate. I just know it's a bigger beer from the characteristics of the beer and the body. Anyway, I don't know where. I just fucking got lost because I'm kind of losing my shit over this beer. And I really didn't think I was going to. I was like, oh, that's going to be pretty good. This is fucking dynamite. So anyway, coffee. Predominant note, everywhere, omnipresent. It's the leading note. And I kind of want that to happen in this beer. And what from I remember of regular Sunny Side Up, it was very coffee forward. And it hasn't lost that intensity. And if it did, it's a very minute amount that it lost. So coffee everywhere. There's a really nice sweet or dark chocolate. Not Hershey's chocolate, maybe not to that sweetness, but not like a 50 or 60% cacao bar, maybe lower. But it has like a sweet, robust kind of chocolate note, like mocha vibes I'm getting from this one. There's caramel, there's toffee, there's brown sugar, there's a little bit of molasses, there's dark fruits, there's plum, black cherry, again, stone fruits, darker stone fruits. Right, and this is all like the first 2/3 of the palate. Different levels. About halfway to 3/4 of the way through the palate, the vanilla sneaks in. What I appreciate about this, and a lot of times, I don't really talk about this a lot in reviews, but a lot of times when I get oak tannin, or what I perceive to be like an oak tannin and oak tannin dryness, I don't really love oak tannins. I don't love the oak tannin dryness. Sometimes it helps stop the beer from being too sweet, but a lot of times it steps in the way and it's like, it's a little bit of a negative. I'm not getting oak tannins here. I'm getting a decent oak kind of like just flavor without like that tannin kind of feel and that dryness, right? The vanilla is definitely there for 100%. I'm getting a little bit of the spirit as well. Like, I wouldn't say peppery bourbon. It's like a sweeter kind of bourbon feel to it. It finishes mild to moderately bitter with like a semi-dry kind of finish. This does lean a little bit sweet, which I'm cool with. I will always like a beer leaning sweet. And what I'm saying is if it's a 50-50 split between the sweetness and the bitterness, or sweetness and the dryness, or sweetness against the bitterness and dryness, I would love if it's 55, 60, 65%. Once you start hitting like 3/4 of the way sweet, like a 75, 25 or higher, that's where it becomes a little bit cloying for me. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to drink the rest of that can, so on and so forth. I will fucking hammer this out and feel good at the end of it. Like I said, 11%, you can tell because of the body. You can tell because of just the oomph of the flavor, like the intensity is there. It's so just fucking intense, it's ridiculous. This is fucking delicious. What is the negative? The only negative is that mouthfeel. And that mouthfeel. I think that's about it. Every fucking drop. I'm pissed off I lost like 1/30 of an ounce or whatever that is, right? Like, not a lot. Yeah. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5, only because of the mouthfeel. And usually when I give a 5 out of 5, there's usually no flaws for me personally, and that mouthfeel just has to knock it down a little bit. But this is one of the better coffee forward beers I've had in a very long time. One of the best barrel-aged beers I've had in a very long time. So the Bourbon Barrel Aged Sunny Side Up Blend 2 2022 release vintage, whatever you want to call it. I have no issues, absolutely fucking no issues whatsoever giving this beer right here a high 4.75, 4.8 out of 5. This is one of the best beers I've had this year. This will probably be my top 10 this year when I do a ranking at the end of the year. This is, I would love to try the single barrel Pappy Van Winkle. Probably never get a chance to try it, but this. I'm going to take one more sip because I love it. Price and availability. I did check on their Instagram. This was $10 a can all day, every fucking day. That might be high for some, but that's under my $1 an ounce threshold that I typically have and have had for a long time. You're talking 16-ounce can for $10 all fucking day. Like, put it this way, if they threw that in a bomber and it was 22 ounces, so you get an extra 6 ounces and you charge $15-20, people would be like, oh yeah, it's great or whatever. It's $10 for a fucking 16-ounce can of something that this is all day, like all day for $10. Availability, I don't know if this was brewery only or if they got some distro. So Justin, let me know where you got it from. If anybody in the PA area in Enola or around Enola, if you know about their distro, let me know what you think about it. I have a lot of Pennsylvania folks that watch this channel, and I think the reason that is because it's the Beer Patrol. PaTroll. I feel like people think I'm there. I've had like a half dozen comments where people are like, oh, you're in Pennsylvania. I'm totally not. It's just a play on the word patrol, like, whatever, the whatever patrol. I'm the Beer Patrol instead of spelling it PaTroll or however else you would spell it. I have 2 L's, troll, what. Anyway, anybody out there in PA that can get their hands on this or did in the past, let me know what you paid for it and availability. Again, 10% or $10 at the brewery. Don't know distro, and like I said, 11%, man. Like, it's fucking. This is so good, and I'm starting to feel it, and I love it. Anyway, huge thanks to you, Justin. Not only for all the fucking beers you gave me, but like some of these are top tier, just delicious beers, and this is the best of the bunch you've given me so far. So, yeah, gonna shut it down. If you had it before, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.